So many question marks as the NFL season comes to a close, and the smartest bettors know that sometimes the best bets are the ones you don't make. So let's take a look at the toss-up bets for Week 16 with a man known on Twitter as Old Man Who Bets, Geoff Sheasby. These are the toss-up bets. You don't want to lay money on these games, but if you must make a pick, let's find out your thoughts. Bengals favored on the road by 1 over the Dolphins. This isn't for the #1 pick anymore.
Right.
How do you see this?
Yeah, I mean, talk about a garbage game, right? I mean, I think you got to lean the Bengals here. The movements favored them, especially after the second half of last week for the Dolphins. In MetLife, they literally just looked like they ran out of all life. I had a live bet on the Dolphins. That line, terrible.
Bengals are going to have the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, I mean,
they're favored on the road.
Yeah, I mean, but they're getting healthier, right? Their receiver core is back outside of A.J. Green, Mixon can run the ball. Dalton's back at the helm, right? This isn't a team that was supposed to go, 0-16. So, again, a game I'm not going to touch at all. I think both of these teams are super inconsistent. They're two terrible squads. If I had to, I'd take the Bengals only because of the movement. But again, one I'm definitely staying far away from.
Jets are home dogs by 3 to the Steelers. They stopped the run. They put pressure on the quarterback. Is that a scenario for Duck Hodges?
Yeah, I think the Steelers here, I think the X factor, not getting enough credit, is going to be their defense. I do like that it's a short line for the Jets. The Jets have looked a little bit better as of late. If we think about last year, Darnold really came to life in the last 4 weeks. He had, I think, top 10 numbers across the board. He's starting to flourish a little bit. I would love to see him pick that up here. I'm going to take the home dog with the swirling winds at MetLife with the Jets.
Redskins would have the second pick in the draft. They're favored by 2.5 at home to the Giants. What am I not seeing here?
Yeah, this is a team that's come together in the last couple of weeks under Haskins. They're 2-2 in the last 4 weeks. He and McLaughlin, Terry, whatever the receiver's name is, drawing a blank here. We'll move on.
McGloin.
That's certainly not. That's the quarterback.
Oh, no, not McGloin.
But nonetheless, I think they've got a really nice rapport, and this team's been playing decent football. The secondary for the Giants obviously is mediocre. There should be holes for them to exploit, though. AP continues to find the fountain of youth, continues to slash. Obviously, Danny Dimes, I think, is going to be back on the field. But, a small line, I'm going to go with Washington here because, again, that record, them favored, is a bit of a surprise.
All right, there's one double-digit spread. The Browns 10-point home dogs to the Ravens. Baltimore's worst loss of the season came to the Browns. Smelling revenge?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a revenge spot. I think the -10 obviously, highlights that. Would like to look a little bit more closely at that game again. I think of the games we've discussed so far, this is probably the most bettable. I lean towards the Ravens, but something that the Browns have done well all season is play up to their opponents, especially in division. So one that I think warrants potential upgrade to a lean as we go a little bit deeper on it. But I thought it was sharp at 10, which is why I didn't want to play it.
All right, let's take a look at 4 games here, and I want to get your thoughts on which ones or which way you'd like to lean, or I guess would hope to lean on these. Jags getting 7 in Atlanta, the Titans getting 2.5, the Raiders getting 7 in the Chargers, and the Seahawks giving the Cardinals 9.5 in Seattle. How do you see those play?
Yeah, all tough games here. I think the more interesting ones are the ones coincidentally on the right-hand side here. Titans 2.5, super small line, especially with the Saints coming off that amazing performance they had last week. I think the Titans are a little bit better than the Colts, but those are two teams that have been playing each other tight literally for the last century. And even though they're looking better with Tannehill and Derek Henry, obviously a beast, I think that short line there speaks more to the Titans in this game, especially at home, playing for a lot. Other game I like on this slate is going to be the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I lean towards the Cardinals here at 9.5. Would love it at 10 or higher. But this Cardinals offense is high-powered enough and starting to click a little bit, especially with Drake in the backfield. Amazing how he can go from one of the worst running backs in the league down in Miami to running for 4 touchdowns and 100-plus yards and looking like one of the best. Talk about coaching, talk about program, talk about motivation. Nonetheless, I think this Cardinals team here is with that high-powered offense. Their defense not very good, but at 10 points, enough of a buffer for them to backdoor.
You feel safe there. Yeah. Your picks for the other two?
Other two, flip a coin. The Chargers, I would certainly lean there. They've lost a lot of one-score games. I think I want to say 7 or 8 of their losses so far have been one score. I thought so again last week. Didn't go very well, but nonetheless, back at home, they don't have much of a home field advantage. I would look for maybe the under there. They're one of the worst deltas in the entire league of looking at points at home and points away. Usually, you see a larger jump at home. Not for them. That being a divisional game, late in the season, I think also trends under. And the Jags Falcons. I mean, who knows? The Falcons coming off a big win over the Niners.
Hey. That's
the Jags.
Minshew versus Ryan. Can Minshew keep up with Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Jags in that, just to say mustache Minshew a couple times, again, the mustache mafia. But that is a game I would definitely stay away from.
Eagles getting a 1.5 at home against the Cowboys?
Yeah, tough one here. I lean towards the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys are playing some good football. The line certainly screams Eagles, way too short with the way that they've been playing. Granted, at home, the Link, tough place to play. But here I'm going to go with the better team, maybe not the better coach because it's Jason Garrett. But Dak's looking pretty good. Amari needs to step up. Amari needs to be healthy, and Zeke needs to feast.
Bears getting 6-point home dogs to the Chiefs, plus they get reminded that they took Trubisky before Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, that is a tough reminder right there. They're already taking the L walking into this game. This is a really tough one here, too. I'd like it more at 7 for the Bears. Obviously, this is a tale of an amazing offense versus amazing defense, and not much on the other two sides. Chiefs defense did look better last week than expected. Are they getting it together? Was it a fluke with the NFL? Honestly, we will never know until the Super Bowl's over, and then we'll still be talking about the variability of it. Here, I'm probably going to lean towards the Chiefs. I think this is a team that plays well pretty much always with Mahomes, obviously healthy. There's a lot of, I think, for that first round bye implications in the AFC. They certainly need this one. And Trubisky is just great at finding ways to lose.
Finally, the Packers getting 5.5 in Minnesota. Can you bet against Aaron Rodgers on Monday night?
I don't think you can. I would definitely be taking the Packers here. I still think that defense is underrated, even though we've talked about it time and time again. Young, inexperienced corners, but they are super athletic, and they're very good at shut down. That D-line as well is great. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers strong. Dalvin Cook out for Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal. I think they can sell out now to stop the pass a little bit more. And if they get beat on the ground, then fine. But at 5.5, obviously would love it a little bit higher. I'm going to go with the Packers here.
All right, well, that is a look at the toss-ups of the week. Make sure you check out our other segments on top plays and leans. He's much more confident on the top plays than any of these toss-ups. And make sure you keep an eye on all the line movement as well on sportsline.com. For Geoff Sheasby, I'm Steve Overmyer. This is Fanalysis.